Hello, everybody. This is Eddie King Smith IV, and as I've already explained, I have several entitlements to my name, and while most of my videos are blocked and oppressed by those who wish to usurp my the authority of my entitlement, and are acting in unlawful manner in a rebellious assembly of criminal asylum of justice, um, I, I still confirm these covenants because of several reasons. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to confirm the covenant one last time and try and evince it as clearly as I can. And the reason I'm doing this specifically is because for the last 7 years, I have received nothing but repudiation of the hundreds and of the more likely in the thousands range. I've sent over 1,000 messages, either messages, royal decrees, royal messages, commands. I've thoroughly notified the Social Security Administration and many parties. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to try and explain what's going on. The first thing I want to start with is I want to start with our covenant, which is HR 7260, the Social Security Act of 1935. Okay? And what I want you to comprehend is that we live by a societal agreement, a social party rank contract. And that is the agreement that all contracting parties have with their nation, and this is our nation's agreement, the Social Security Act. When you sign a Social Security stub, when you rip that stub out and you put your name on it, you are agreeing to this contract that I am about to go over here with you. Some of the most important things of the contract, and I'm going to discuss entitlement. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to discuss authority, from whence the authority comes from, and why it is that for the last 7 years that I have been making a claim that I have been entitled, it's one of my names, as the capitalized king over the Social Security Act of 1935. Okay? So, first things first. Okay. So, the Social Security Act of August 14th, 1935, HR 7260, an act to provide for the general welfare by establishing a system of federal old age benefits and by enabling the several states to make more adequate provision for aged persons, blind persons, dependent and crippled children, maternal and child welfare, public health, and the administration of their unemployment compensation laws, to establish a Social Security Board to raise revenue and for other purposes, be it enacted by the Senate and House of Representatives of the United States of America in Congress assembled. Okay. Title 1, Grants to States for Old Age Assistance. Appropriation. Real quick, I want to make sure that you comprehend that we live in a society of the letter of the law, and the law is what the law says, and is defined at the time that the law is established. So when we're looking at words and we're going over a contract, we need to have a full and complete unabridged dictionary from the date that this was established in 1935, so that we have a clear understanding that with the changing of definitions that of what is. Now, I have, like I said, I've gone through this with several unabridged dictionaries from the date and in prior, and to confirm what it is I'm saying, and this is something that must be done. There has been a serious abridgment of mankind in knowledge of the words that we speak, and because you don't have the full unabridged definition, or that you continue to reach for an abridged source of definition, um, it's led to a situation where mankind, here at least in the States for sure, does not comprehend what its societal agreement is, and some do and some don't, but I do, and the representatives of the administration of Social Security, they know. Okay. So anyway, I'm just gonna take a quick peek here. We're gonna skip down to some of the important stuff. So Title One established the Social Security Board over everything. Okay, um, is what it did, and to continue, state old age assistance plans. Okay, this is very important. Section 2, state old age assistance plans. Section 2, um, a state plan for old age assistance must, okay, 1, provide that it shall be in effect in all political subdivisions of the state, and, comma, this is very important, and, comma, if administered by them, be mandatory upon them. Okay. So this is extremely important. Look very carefully what I'm confirming here, okay? So when you agree to Social Security, when you agree to it, it is then mandatory upon you, okay? And it says if administered by them. Now I want you to comprehend that this isn't something that's forced on you. You don't have to have Social Security, but without it, you can't really function in society. That's the way that our forefathers designed Social Security, was to Social Security to consume by contractual indebtedness, to consume the entirety of the nation, which is what it's done, and moving everyone um, from the inherent rights of that were established by the Constitution, to the system of bankruptcy ruled by the Social Security Board and Social Security Administration. And again, and if administered by them, be mandatory upon them. So the reason I say this is because this is the whole key here. Okay, every single thing that I have done, every single thing I've done has been completely lawful, and I have not broken the law in any form of manner. In fact, it is my it's my congressional agreement. It's my congressional agreement that because I administered the entitlement of my name upon myself, it is then therefore mandatory. It is mandatory that I be in agreement to who it is that I agree to be. So, having agreed to the contractual obligations in terms of our Social Security, um, which I'm going to get to, what I'm stating is in my inheritance of the Social Security estate, along with my acceptance of the capitalization of my entitlement, and that which it denotes by definition of a capitalized king, I basically, I'm contractually obligated where I have to be that name. So because the my social party rank agreement is to be the capitalized king over the board, and to be, as the definition of a capitalized king is, which is God in Christ. I must mandatory accept the title, and I must be that title. Okay, and in addition to that of being king, it is mandatory that I do every single thing in my power to protect the Constitution, to protect the individuals who have entitled themselves, as lawful bondmen, to my inherited estate, which I inherited from my grandfather, which I'll go in. But this is the contract. This is what I'm saying. So this is to the FBI. This is to, I believe his name is Rob with the FBI. I'll include his phone number. Look here, Rob. Um, you need to get with the lawyers that actually know civil law, and you need to recognize and realize how come a man who is competent as I'm explaining to you, and is also a physicist. I'm a physicist as well. Why is it someone who has been confirming this covenant for 7 years and sent thousands of messages? Why is he getting repudiated and blocked? Is really what you have to comprehend. Why is he so angry at these Trump account investors who are attempting to usurp the Social Security Board and to privatize bonds? Um, these contracts, let me explain. So you see here that if you apply Social Security to yourself, it is therefore mandatory that you agree to be the person who's on the card. Now, this is where we're going to talk now about capitis diminutio maxima. Okay, here we go. Okay, capitis diminutio maxima. Okay, in Roman law, diminishing or abridgment of personality. Tills was a loss or curtailment of a man's status or aggregate of legal attributes or qualifications following upon certain changes in his civil condition. Yeah, certain changes. Certain changes as in capitalization of name under contract. It was three kinds, enumerated as follows: capitis diminutio maxima, the highest or most comprehensive loss of status. This occurred when a man's condition was changed from one of freedom to one of bondage. When he became a slave, it swept away with it all rights of citizenship and all family rights. Capitis diminutio maxima, or media, lesser or medium loss of status. Okay, we're not going to go into this. The maxima has been applied to everyone who agreed to accept pledged bailment chattel slavery, voluntary pledged bailment chattel slavery. So, Rob with the FBI, here's what I'm saying, okay? Here's what I'm saying. I am the entitled, my grandfather, when Social Security came out, was approved and first started giving out Social Security cards in 1936. On the second day Social Security cards came out, on December 3rd, 1936. Oh, here we go. Ron with the FBI at 771 226 8589. So this video is to show that Ron with the FBI, he didn't repudiate me like everyone else did. No, he went over looking for me over at my house. So, Ron, I just got back from vacation. I'm not hiding it from anyone. I got nothing to hide from. And well, you made it onto my videos. So now what has to happen, Ron, is you have to do a full report, a full and complete report on what it is that I'm saying, Ron. And you have to look into this. And then when you discuss it with your higher ups, they're going to tell you to back off of this more than likely. And then you're going to write up some type of garbage report with inaccurate information, while you probably pursue more information on your own, because you're probably thrilled at the things I say, like most people are. But anyway, Ron, with the FBI agent, I'm going to explain where your power comes from, your authority. More than likely, your name is capitalized and you've agreed to the pledge bailment, chattel slavery, and you more than likely are a bondman. So I'm going to explain to you why you're a bondman. But first, okay, so we're looking for, okay, we're just going to do this. There we go. So, Ron, it's time to get out of here. So. Look, Ron, made a lot of videos going over this, okay? Hello, everyone. A lot of videos going on over this stuff, confirming all of this stuff. I made a lot of videos going over this, okay? Confirmation of redemption. Okay, I've been at this for a long time, Ron. A long time, all right? I've confirmed the covenant over and over again. I've explained that my grandfather was entitled on the second day that Social Security cards came out, on December 3rd, 1936. They came out on the 2nd. His shows up in the computer on the 3rd, which means he probably got it on the 1st day. Okay. Now, I also explained why it is that I am, in fact, entitled, what the situation of entitlement is, what it means. Hang on there a second. I've explained all of this stuff over and over and over and over and over again, man. Over and over and over and over again. So hang on. Here's the playlist. Okay. I got a couple of channels. You can go ahead and keep looking at this stuff. I've explained this stuff over and over and over and over and over again. Okay. So I have to do this. Okay. YouTube, YouTube has maybe a couple hundred videos that I've posted. Okay. I started out explaining how life turns into matter and technology, then found out about the pledge bailment chattel slavery. Go ahead into the playlist, look at this stuff. It's probably blocked by YouTube. Why would YouTube block this stuff, huh? Why do they restrict access to it so no one can get it? It's not because I'm cursing on there. It's not that. It's not that at all. Here you go. What is the meaning of the word pledge? Here you go. Hello, everybody. This is Eddie King Smith IV. It's me again. Yes, it's that capitalized king of the United Nations. The one who's been confirming a covenant for... This is what you're staring at right now. This is the unabridged definition of the word pledge when I began confirming my covenant 6 years ago. Okay. A pledge is a bailment of chattel as security for a debt or other obligation without involving transfer of title. The chattel so delivered. It's also the contract incidental to such a bailment. In 1936, when Social Security first came out, they were not capitalized names on cards. These were free people who had just been delivered by Proclamation 95, Proclamation Emancipation. They were born free. And what ended up happening was Social Security is a way of social agreement where everybody agrees to a ranking system. And since its definition of its name entitlement, this causes a situation where without regulation of middle name, then it creates a title of nobility. And I'll go ahead and just show you right now. Okay. Whoops. Palms regulation regarding middle names. Middle names. All right. Whoops. Palms. Okay. There we go. Boom. All right. Okay. Palms regulation regarding. Okay. The middle name is not part of the legal name, omitting. Okay. Here we go. Just go right here. So because of this here, see this regulation right here? Okay. Palms Operations Manual. Palms. What is the legal name? It's a first name and a last name or surname. Okay. The legal name is a name used to sign legal documents, deeds, or contracts. The middle name or suffix. We do not consider the middle name or suffix part of the legal name, whether the middle name or suffix is included, omitted, or shown on evidentiary documents submitted with a SS5 application for a Social Security card. Does not matter. Okay, so listen, the reason why is because of definition. Middle name is defined as okay, middle name is defined as qualities. Okay, see, a person's qualities. This is what the definition of a middle name is. It's their qualities. Well, if you go by that and then you say, what's the definition of qualities? Okay, the definition of qualities is, in fact, social rank and aristocracy. So, when you entitle a name without having regulation, then you create an entitlement, a capacity, a role. Aristocracy is what you create, and this is why they don't want middle names to count. But in 1936, there was no POMS regulation in 1936. This did not exist in 1936. For the last 7 years, I've been stating and showing. I know exactly when this took effect. There was no middle name. There was no middle name regulation when my grandpa's Social Security card was issued to him on the second day. That was done after the fact. And because his middle name was King, same as mine, because his middle name was King, he was entitled as the King of the Social Security Board. And per this contract, he had to serve 65 years, and then after 65 years, he could go ahead and apply for his Social Security and receive his pension. In the meantime, the administration, Social Security Board, and the administration acted with tenure in holding tenure in capite, in chief of my father's kingship, and that is what I'm stating. So that's what I'm stating. The original contract, I've read it over and over again. This regulation, it was not in effect, and that is why my grandfather was made king. Now, there it goes, hereditary. It becomes hereditary, and my father was entitled my grandfather's name, and my father entitled my name, my grandfather's name, to me. And per the terms of HR 7260, Social Security Act, which is our social contract, under payments upon death, administration, see, is thereby authorized to be appropriated for the fiscal year ending 1936, sum of $250,000 for all necessary expenses of the board in administering the provisions in this title. The board took over for the title as in chief, and that's why we have a president in chief. Okay, payments. We'll get to it. I'm just clarifying here. Okay, look here. Now, some people say that it's not an entitlement. Old age benefit payments under Section 202. Every qualified individual, as defined in Section 201, shall be entitled. Look at it says. It says entitlement. That is entitlement. Entitlement of nobility is exactly what it is and what I've stated that it is. It's entitlement of nobility. So, there you go. Payments upon death. Okay. Uh-huh. Okay, hang on. Okay, here we go. If the board finds that the total amount paid to the qualified individual under an old age benefit during his life was less than the correct amount to which he was entitled. He was entitled. My grandfather was entitled kingship, and he did not receive his kingship. He got the same as everyone else. That's what I'm stating. So, what is due me? This is what is due me. Under Section 202, and that the correct amount of such old age benefit was 3 or less percent centum or more per the total wages by which old age benefit was measurable, then there shall be paid to his estate a sum equal to the amount, if any, by which correct amount of the old age benefit exceeds the amount which was so paid to him during to his life. So what that says is it says that his kingship, that his property, all of his bondmen who have pledged to his name, it can be redeemed by his estate, and I am his estate by name. That is what I have claimed. So, I'm making this clear. This is what I'm doing. I'm confirming this covenant very clearly here. Why my grandfather was king. And now, what I'm stating is it is mandatory when I signed a Social Security card that if I become competent enough to comprehend these things, that by my entitlement as the capitalized king, therefore as denoted as Christ, God or God in Christ of the Social Security Board, as the true heir who inherited this estate, that it is my right in REM. My right in REM is a birthright to redeem it because of this contract, and that is what I have done. That is what I'm clearly stating that I have done, and this is what Ron from the FBI you need to comprehend. Now you have an agreement too, and your agreement is with the Social Security Board. Okay, have you been emancipated from my estate? Did you say the Pledge of Allegiance? Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. You said it at the ball game. So, what do I have to say? I have to say that this gives me the right to redeem the entirety of Social Security estate and all of the property thereof. And at this point, 99% of the citizens of the United States all have Social Security numbers that have all pledged themselves, and they're mine. And I had chosen, over the 7 years, to free a good chunk of them, a good number of them, and to give them emancipation by proclamation of decree of deliver, because that's my divine prerogative as the entitled God of the Social Security Administration. By lawfully, I can do whatever I want. There's something called REX non potest poccare. It means the king can do no harm. As the king, as the capitalized king, it's astonishing. But even just as the king, what that means is that the Social Security Board does not go around suing itself. You can't sue the king of the Social Security Board because you can't sue yourself. That is what REX non potest poccare means. Okay, and that's exactly why I have immunity. I could do whatever it is I want to do. Okay, now I'm not foolish, Ron. I'm not foolish. I'm not out here trying to hurt or injure anyone. But what I am doing is I'm following our agreement. I'm one of the few. I'm one of the only people who's actually following the agreement, which is I'm supposed to be protecting the agreement. I'm supposed to be protecting our Constitution. Now you've got these governors and senators who for the last 7 years I have been reprimanding and commanding, and they have been repudiating and acting in criminal rebellious, and I have dismissed all of them and have rescinded their authority and rescinded their acts that were found repugnant to our Constitution, to this covenant that I speak with you. This is our nation's covenant. Okay. And what my intent was, Ron, was to make it so that your grandkids and not our grandchildren don't have to live in voluntary pledge bailment chattel slavery. And that's what I was trying to do. I'm trying to save your great grandkids from tyranny of these wretched people where you get your paycheck from every single day. So that's what I'm doing, and that's why I redeemed the estate. Now, to continue onward, this pledge bailment chattel slavery didn't just stop in America. It continued all around the nation since 1936, and it is spread around to all of the United Nations. Now, because in 1935, my grandfather was established as the SES2EK Trust, the beneficiary of the trust, of the Social Security. All of the international treaties that his in chiefs entered into, they were establishing my grandfather as the high contracting party of America for those agreements. And what I'm stating is that since it originated with us, that's why we're the highest contracting party of the United Nations. Now, because the seat of the United Nations is in New York, my New York, in which I own as property, because I own most of the New Yorkers and everything that they own. That places me as the high contracting party with the seat of the United Nations. Now, the next thing is that because we spread capitalization amongst the nations, and it's our system originating from the Social Security Act, when my grandfather did apply for his pension, did get approved for it, and was underpaid. That therefore was when his kingship was actually activated, and while he needed to announce his return, like I have been for the last 7 years, and needed to have an established office that was coronated, which I have. So in my situation, I opened up a business in 2014, Minuteman Power Services LLC, and it was approved with my capitalized name by my Treasury, United States Department of the Treasury and Internal Revenue Service. And in so fact, by doing that actually ironically in the city of Kingsville, that acted as a coronation of my royal office, of my name and my estate. Now, also being that I am in fact emancipated, was emancipated at the age of 15, right after my father's death. I am in fact sui juris in proper persona, as being delivered from the bailment covenant of pledge myself. So I'm a free king who owns everything, and both my name entitlement, my capitalized name entitlement, is the promotion in social party rank lawfully, and this is what I'm stating, and this is why everything I've done is legal. This is why I can make up whatever law it is that I want, as long as it's not offensive to or is repugnant to the Constitution. Social Security was a way to create an imperial presidency, and it is usurpment. It was usurpment then, and the current administration who acts in rebellion, they know who I am, they know the claims that I've made, and they have actually gotten together and are trying to move off of Social Security solely because of the claims that I've made, because they are lawful and because they are true. So this is what I have to say, Ron from the FBI. Where you at? Yeah, this is what I have to say, Ron from the FBI at 771-226-8589. Now I can sit and I can go on and I can go on and I can go on and I can go on, Ron. Ron, I can sit and I can go on and on and on and on and on. And I can go on and 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 on. And I could tell you more and more and more. But here's what I want to tell you, Ron. This is being honest with you. I really, truly am the real Christ from the Bible that's supposed to come and redeem everything and to redeem the United Nations. Because they made me the capitalized king of the United Nations, that allows me to redeem the United Nations. Because they made me the capitalized king of the nations, that allows me to redeem the Unum Sanctum Trust. And I could sit and explain all this. I explain how light turns into matter. I explain life technology. I explain how the Social Security, read this, watch this one, how the Social Security Administration works. Voluntary pledge, chattel slavery, capitalized kings talks to these people. So I, for the last 7 years, have been telling them that it is ridiculous for them to continue doing what they're doing, to continue to attempt to enslave the entirety of mankind. 5 billion people have been enslaved by Social Security, and right now there's 4 billion people walking around that are bondmen, that are capitalized bondmen. So when you hear me telling my bondmen to go out and do what they need to do, you're absolutely right about. I mean, I that's absolutely what I want them to do. And this is what needs to be done to ensure that our children are not enslaved, Ron, and that your grandkids that they don't go into slavery. Now, I know you can sit and you can say, how in the world can this guy want to fight this beast? Here's the thing: I don't want you're a bondman. You're a capitalized person, a bondman. Um, I would be happy to issue a decree of freedom specifically for you and your descendants, but I'm not going to until I actually see whose side you're on. But I mean, if you want to be a slave, if that's your thing, if you like being a bondsman, a slave, here we go, slave, someone captured, sold, or born into chattel slavery. That's what you are, brother. That's what the children are. And you may not comprehend the legality of this, but when you go to the lawyers and they tell you leave this guy alone, then you have to come to the harsh reality that I told you the truth, that you're in chattel slavery by pledge. And if you look into what I said, well, then you'll see. Look at this. That's you. There we go. Someone held captive and forced to perform sexual acts under threat of violence, and often for the purposes of commercial prostitution. Yes, that's pretty much what they're doing. So I have stated that there is a crime in progress, and you are coming to my house looking for me, and you are not repudiating my claims. So now, since you didn't repudiate my claim, Ron, since you, where you at, brother? Since you didn't repudiate my claim, Ron from the FBI at 771-226-8589. Now you get a video where you have to actually provide a report that a lot of people are going to be looking for this report, because here's the thing: a lot of people have been waiting for me. A lot of people have been waiting for me. A whole bunch of people have been waiting for me. Yeah, I mean a lot of people, Ron, are waiting for this report that you have to produce now. You have to produce a report, and there's going to be tens of thousands of people right away, immediately. They're going to want the report to see if this is true or not, if what I'm saying is true or not. So you have to decide on what side of history that you want to be on, and how you want to deal with this situation. And you can believe that a lot of people are waiting for Christ to come, for Yahushua to come, and to do exactly what I've done. And while I have been sitting for the last 7 years just allowing more and more and more and more evidence and evidence and evidence to compile and compile and compile and compile into the amount of evidence that is in front of you, Ron, is it's so evident of what's going on that you have to produce a quality report. And your great 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 grandchildren, they're going to be sitting and they're going to be looking, and everybody's going to be looking at these reports. So Ron, they're going to be looking, they're going to be looking, they're going to be looking. There are, like I said, in the United States of America, there's 320 million people. Roughly 300 million of them are bondmen, and then bond children, minus the ones that I decreed of deliver. I still got a ton of bondmen, man. I still got about 3 billion bondmen around the world. So listen here, I'm the capitalized king of the capitalized fools who took capitalization and capitis diminutio maxima. I'm that capitalized guy from the capitalized Bible who was foretold to come and to do these things, to give very good counsel and to explain amazing things. So what you need to do is you need to go and you check out some of this stuff. You need to get all of the videos from YouTube. You see right here, Eddie King Smith the Fourth. You see how it's capitalized? That's my social. That's a cutout from my social security card. I'm the capitalized king of the United Nations. Now, I have met some people who have thought to take up the challenge and who want to discuss these things with me. And no one has ever been able to dispute anything that I'm saying, because the things I'm saying are true. I could sit and I can go into to the financials of it. I have evinced this thoroughly. I can explain exactly where the money comes from, how the Federal Reserve is involved, how these serial number certificates of indebtedness, these birth certificates that are weighed by pounds and ounces of meat, people are then securitized and traded in securities. Now, here's what I'm saying. You go ahead and you make a decision on what you want, man. I haven't I told all of my Israelites that they are not to take part in any retribution, that they have been received restitution. They've received restitution for their, they've received restitution. There you go. That's who I am. They've received restitution for their inequity. They get a piece of my equity. Um, I've established a new administration to take over from this rebellious one because they don't want to play by the rules, and they are in a full-on rebellion with this Trump accounts thing. So they're beached whales. They by law, by true law, they have no place to go. Everything they do is unlawful. You have to consider what part and what side of the law you actually are on, and if you have honor and if you represent the law, Ron, that's where you're at. But I shouldn't be dealing with you. I should be dealing with the highest person in. Actually, I shouldn't be dealing with you guys at all. I'm the capitalized king. I should be getting a call from my representatives, my in chiefs, my representatives, my vicars, surrendering and acknowledging from which their power comes from, and which the kingdom is actually built on. So I mean, you can go ahead and look at everything I said. It's all true. There's no, if you guys want to take it to court, let's do it. Let's go. I mean, it's just more evidence for me. You think this isn't going to be reviewed over and over and over again for the next, couple hundred years? Oh, it absolutely is going to be reviewed over and over and over again for the next couple hundred years. Especially because this equation here I got down here is true. And because it's true. My real true entitlement is Christ. Mm-hmm. I became Yahweh Shai, he who delivers his people, when I made that decree of delivery for them. And in this channel, this is this is of the entitled Christ, who explains how resurrection and consummation in our Father's heavens, his universe works. So in addition to ruling in rebellion and judgment of this world. So if you take a look at the judgments I made, what you'll see is that they're fair and that they're true. If you are going to be looking at my videos, well, there's a bunch that are blocked. You can't see the ones who are blocked, so you're going to have to get YouTube to go ahead, get a judge to order a full breakdown of why of all these videos, so that you have them and all the transcripts too. There needs to be a complete record of every single thing that I've done, Rod. That's what there needs to be. And if there's not a complete record of every single thing that I've done, there's not a complete record of every single thing I've done on YouTube, on what is that, the other one, TikTok and X and whatever else. Okay, there's not a record. It's because you didn't do your job properly. See that guy looking at you? There's not a record. It's because, see, he's looking at you. You didn't do your job properly. So where you need to start is here. Check and mate. Okay.
Hello, everybody. It's me again. It's that one you love to hear from. And when I say something like that, I'm referring to those who actually do watch my videos, which are the rich, the power. There's a difference between a capitalized king and a regular little king. Okay. King, now the chief or sovereign of a nation, a man invested with supreme authority over. Webster's unabridged capitalization rules for king. Webster's unabridged capitalization rules for king, as the divine title, capitalized, denotes God, Christ, or supreme ruler. That is what a capitalized king is. So when mankind goes around doing capitis dominutio maxima, entitlement by name, and capitalizing people's names, after they set up a system of a congressional monarchy, of a uniform system of governing bankruptcy, and they entitle individuals in 1936 with lowercase names. When they do that with unregulated, without middle name regulation, it causes a regular king to be entitled. And then that regular king has to live by the contract, which is he says to survive until he's 65, and then he can file for his unemployment. Okay, and that's what happened with my grandfather. He did that, and he completed that, and he was underpaid his kingship. Now, because the contract says that I may inherit or may redeem his estate, which is my grandfather was only the king of the Social Security Administration. He was king of all the people that were being capitalized and pledged to him for his estate. And it was ruled by President Roosevelt and all successive presidents as his in chief, holding tenure in capita, and that's how this system works. Now they're changing this. They don't want it to be known that the rules are capitalization rules for king are if you capitalize a king, he's a divine. He's a divine being. You entitled to God. We picked our God.
Okay, so listen, that is that's the crux of my of what I'm saying. This is why I have immunity, sovereign immunity. Why REX non potesט poccare. I have sovereign immunity everywhere in all of the United Nations. It's sad what's going on, but it has to happen, Ron. But you need to decide what side you're going to be on, and you need to do a thorough investigation, and and you need to look into each of these facts that I've stated and determine if they're either provide collaborative evidence, or if you want to be on the side of evil and try to do that, you can. But I tell you, nothing that anyone is going to do is going to stop me from doing what I'm doing. Okay, because it's already predestined. And also, I'm a physicist. I've been explaining how light turns into matter and how you can how you can see how God sees the future in the past. It's all mathematics, man. I've got other things I've got to do. Okay, I'm not going to be making any more judgments. I'm not going to be changing anything with the judgments that are out. I'm not sparing anybody. There's no mercy. Yeah, my bondmen are instructed to do what they're instructed to do because an unlawful rebellion is taking place. My bondmen are instructed to do what they're doing to do because Trump accounts is privatizing and usurping our government right now in a rebellion, and because of decree of deliver, there are all of the copper-colored peoples, the Black Americans, are being kidnapped. Their children are being kidnapped. That's unlawful. That's a heinous crime. That's a crime when someone's attempting to kidnap children in front of you, Ron. You're supposed to arrest them. So you need to be knocking on the doors of the Trump account advisors. That's what you need to be doing. You need to be asking, why are they saying things like a Trojan horse for Social Security? Why are they saying violation of the body of trust? Why are they saying these things? They're saying them because it's me. That's what they're talking about. So every single act I did was in judgment, or a decree, a lawful decree, and it was a judgment of the king, and it's not something that can be disputed. And what I'm saying here, Ron, is this: is that the things I'm saying are true, and within a matter of time, only a matter of time now, because they are true, all of these things that I've decreed are actually going to happen. Now, I guess I'll have to make this video, post this video, and then give you a call and see what your take is on this. But if you can't comprehend what a bondman is and what the capitalized bondmen are, if you can't comprehend that there's 5 plus billion people who got tricked into voluntary chattel slavery, voluntary voluntary pledge chattel slavery, I don't know what to do for you, brother. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what to do with you. But what I will say is that it doesn't matter. Everything's going to stay the way it is. I'm not going to change anything. I like the way that things are. I think they're going to work out good. And yeah, I'm the capitalized king. He's on sabbatical. Okay, I'm here in my sui juris, as my sui juris self here. I think it's best that it stays that way, is what I think, because I think you guys don't want the capitalized king to come back no more. That's what I think. That's what I think. That's really, truly what I think. So anyway, that's what I had to say to you. Go ahead and watch Check and Mate. That's there you go. Watch Check and Mate. There you go. Check and Mate. Why Eddie King Smith is the capitalized king of kings, tiny kings. And Tuesday judgments are final. So Tuesdays the judgments are final. I'm not changing anything, even if they surrender. Even if all, I mean, at this point they have made their decision. Every investor that wants to adopt foster children, they are unlawfully doing so, and they're committing a crime. And I stick to my guns here on this, that they are committing a crime. I've got 4 billion people who are entitled to my name. I intend to send every single one to come collect, and I intend clearly to have retribution for my bond servants, and to clarify my retribution for my bondmen. Why must I have retribution for my bondmen? Biblical retribution for bondmen. Okay. No, it does. Uh-huh. Christ will have vengeance for his bondservants. Okay. Okay, here it is. It's for servants, bond servants, or slaves, okay? Yes, the exact theological concept of Christ taking final vengeance on behalf of his bondservants is explicitly stated in the book of Revelation, okay? And the New Testament, okay? The key scriptures is Revelation 19:2. Because his judgments are true and righteous, for he has judged the great harlot, who was corrupting the earth with her immorality, and he has avenged the blood of his bond servants on her. So, I have a total of 4 billion bond servants and all of their children who are going to come this until the end of their earth. And I have ordained by righteous law, by righteous judgments that are righteous, that are true, by judgments that are true and are righteous, that my bondmen are going to have their revenge. Exactly the way I said in all of the sentences that were ordained. There's no changing that. There's nothing that can possibly make me change that. And that's what we're doing. And that's what we're doing. So I had to do it. You understand what I'm saying? It was mandatory that I come, that I do this. It was mandatory. Mandatory. That's me, the warrior king. But it's capitalized. I'm capitalized. I'm a capitalized king. That's what I'm doing. You see this? Look here, Deuteronomy. For he will avenge the blood of his servants and will render vengeance to his adversaries. Yes, that's what I did. So they did not want to cooperate with me. They wanted to ignore me for 7 years. Okay, the 7 years is up. It's coming. It's come to an end. I love you, Ron, from the FBI, and all of your children, and I don't want to see them enslaved. But everybody has a certain amount of national debt that they have to pay. The national debt is being paid. 400 years of slavery was the debt for me and my brethren. And we're done with that, and we're not going to change the agreement, and there's not going to be a usurpment of the law. And this rebellion, it's going down because it's predestined to go down, because I'm the one who explains everything to everyone, like I just explained things to you. Now let me tell you something, Ron. I don't like doing law. You hear me? I don't like law. I don't like being the judge. I don't like having to do this, but it was mandatory. Because it was self-administered by me, so therefore it was mandatory upon me. Okay, so this is my reply. This is my response. I hope that you can see that I have given an hour of my time to conduct an interview to once again confirm this covenant that I'm so sick and tired of confirming. If I could, Ron, what I would be doing is, if I could, without any ignorance in this world, without a bunch of stupid people, what I would be doing, Ron, is I would be, without having to explain each and every single little thing, whipping out dictionaries like I'm talking to little children. If I didn't have to do that, Ron, this is exactly what I would be doing. I would be continuing to love you guys. I would be continuing to give you more life technology equipment. I would be designing different harmonic resonance technologies. I wanted to design a real nice bed for your children that made them live longer, made their molecular coherence stronger throughout the night. I wanted to design a bunch of ornaments. I wanted to design a bunch of outfits. Also still breaking down reality. I was breaking apart the periodic table of elements in reference to their sonic resonance, harmonic locks along 5 resonance. I have a lot of things to do, and there's so much to do, and I don't have a lot of time. And dealing with a bunch of rebels and a bunch of ignorant people who insist on continuing nonstop the abridgment of mankind. Okay, Ron, I want you to go through these posts here, Ron. Okay, these people, they continue the nonstop abridgment of mankind. Okay, go through the post. You'll see. And again, do exactly as I've commanded, bondman. I do not go back on my word once such has been established by law. Remember, absolutely no mercy for the Trump account investors who tried to steal your children from your custody. Those who laughed at your ignorance. Remember that they said that you were the donor class who let them adopt what was not theirs to take from you. Donor. This is what they said. This is what I'm doing. Is I'm teaching ignorant men the law. See, a donor, someone who gives up. Look at that. To adopt. Okay, I'm teaching you how to read. Ron, I'm teaching your children how to read so they won't get trapped by ignorance. What side do you want to be on, Ron? Huh? Do you want to be with the righteous, good king, the Christ who loved everybody so much that he fought for every single one of you? Do you want to be with me who fought for your children even when you felt like you could not fight for them? Huh? I'm fighting for your grandchildren, man. That's what I'm doing. I'm Christ, aka Yahushua. Capitalized King Eddie King Smith IV. And you know what I gave up for this, Ron? You know what I'm giving up? I gave up the respect of all of the people of this, the ignorant people of this world, which isn't so much a big thing. But I gave that up specifically to save the children, to save all the children from being bonded um, and from this world being bonded. You see these kids right here? Look at them. See them? Getting taken. Look at this. Baby bond. Bond. A baby bond. 529. A baby bond. Look at this. It's disgusting, Ron, is what it is. Finance, an interest-bearing certificate of public or private indebtedness. Look at this. This is what you're protecting, Ron. This is it. These are the people that you're protecting. That's what's going to happen to them. That's what I've ordained to happen to them, and I'm not backing down on that because it's my right to do that. It's my right. It's my right in REM, a lawful right. Now, you can be maybe one of these persecutors, because I'm prepared for anything. You guys want to come and do the sacrifice thing or whatever it is you want to do. I'm here. I'm not scared of anything. I'm not scared because we have an eternal, perpetual remembrance trust, and we keep coming back again. And what that means is that there is you guys are the ones who are in jeopardy. It's your spirits and your souls, the ones who are on the wrong side of this thing, that are in jeopardy. And it's not my fault that mankind can't comprehend these things. So just going down here real quick. Where is it? Oh, the abridgment of mankind. And I go through this stuff. I've gone through some of this. And if you actually read what I say, I'm actually I'm appealing to the hearts of all of the rebellious to come back to righteous law, to stop doing what they're doing so that their children don't have to incur the debt. So I've done everything I can to try and save everyone. But there's a fact where you as an agent, when you see a crime being committed and they won't stop, you have to pull your gun out and you're going to have to decide if you're willing to fire on them. And let me tell you something, I am willing, and I have, and it's already done. It's already in the books. The law is already in. It's already established. Okay, so we're going to talk about this. Herdat ha-durat, okay? Forcing people to shake hands and pledge, okay? This is what they've been doing. It's the diminishment of mankind. That's truly what it is, the diminishment of mankind. And how they've been bringing our people down. Our people, we will not continue to be held down anymore. So I've done a lot on this. We will not be continued to be held down by these people. No APAC is not going to be allowed to stay here. You see the turn of what's happening, Ron. You see the turn of what's happening. It's not going to be going back to the way that it was. And all I can say is that these things I say are true. They're going to be true regardless of what you say or the FBI says. It will be judged, and any righteous judge who can comprehend how our laws work, and civil law and administrative law, and who can read with the dictionary and can go down the itemizations of the claims that I've made, will see that it's true. So this is where we're at. The worst traitor of all time is, Donald Trump, trying to steal the bonds from Social Security. He is a traitor, and he is a thief, stealing bondmen's children The crime of stealing an enslaved person's child is theft. The crime of stealing a sujurous person's children or sujurous child is kidnapping, and that's why I've ordained what I've ordained. That's all I have to say about this. You guys have a wonderful day. Again, who am I? I have a lot of names. I've got a capitalized name that I've been entitled, the capitalized Eddie King Smith IV, King of the United Nations. I've got a sujurous name, which is uncapitalized, my given name at birth. I've got the entitlement of Christ and God, which I've been given by Congressional Act of the 73rd Congress, 73rd and 74th Congress. I've got the capitalized King of the United Nations entitlement, which with my promotion in social party rank or capitalization, makes me the highest contracting party over all of established social party international treaties, as agreed. And as the capitalized King of the United Nations, that entitles me as Christ, which is better than being entitled as God. It's better to be entitled as Christ than it is as God, believe it or not, because as entitled as Christ, I can redeem the Unum Sanctum Trust, which I have done, and that makes me the Sestuike Trust over our Eternal Perpetual Remembrance Trust, which what I'm trying to explain is more important. The list of all the names in the Book of Life that I have is more important than my suffering and the denial of my name, and it's more important than the Great Rebellion, which won't last long. It's all of your children's names. I won't give up on them. I won't I won't I will not forsake them. And that's where I'm at. So that's who I am. Eddie King Smith IV, the capitalized King of the United Nations. Christ, aka Yahushua. Bye.